Also aware, Professor Jibril Amin's entry into federal cabinet marked yet another impactful phase of his public service. His service as Nigerian ambassador to the United States between 1999 to 2003 witnessed a more strengthened bilateral relation between Nigeria and United States, advocating Nigeria's interests and promoting positive image of our dear country. His diplomatic style and intellectual depth made him a highly respected representative of Nigeria. Further aware that Professor Jibril Amin was elected in this by 2003 and elected in 2007. That makes him the only senator so far in Adamawa Central to serve 2 terms consecutively between 2003 and 2011. His performance in the Senate were unprecedented. He chaired committees on health and foreign affairs on different occasions and was member of various committees owing to his brilliance, presentations and contributions during debates. Both at plenary and committees, he was recognized and addressed as headmaster. He has many bills and motions to his credit. He also served in various capacities such as lecturer, medical consultant, visiting professor, as I mentioned, executive secretary, university vice chancellor, foreign diplomat, minister of education, minister of natural resources, and also finally distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. To his credit as a nation builder, Professor is to the commencement of the National Petroleum Corporation, a recession of the second generation of universities, the National Primary Education Board, UBEC, nomadic education, among other development initiatives. I appreciate distinguished senators, distinguished Senator Professor passion for national unity, cut across ethno-religious barriers in the country. National and chieftaincy honors were awarded to him as a testament to that. Among others are Bagbile of Lagos, the Ibogu of Omoku, the Tuanse of Jeshalan, the chief of Havia, the Ojimba of Newi, and the Odumana Ichemba of Omodiak Ikadari. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the death of distinguished Professor Jibril Amin is a national loss. The elder statesman lived an impactful life, exemplary life worth emulation. Nigeria should remember him in a most deserving way. Resolve at urge Senate to observe a minute silence in honor of the late senator. To send a delegation to distinguished Professor Aminu's for distinguished Professor Aminu's condolence with his family and government of Adamawa State. Urge federal government to immortalize the late distinguished Professor Jibril Aminu by naming one of the national monuments after him. Thank you, distinguished colleagues.
Senator Binosiaro.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I'm Binosiaro, Adamawa South. I rise to second this motion that has been brought to honor Professor Jibril Aminu, who was a leading elder statesman, not only in Adamawa State, but Nigeria at large. He has made remarkable contributions to this country. As has been listed by the main sponsor of this motion, he was at the University of Ibadan. He was the first executive secretary of NUC after it became a statutory body. He was professor of medicine at the University of Maiduguri. He was vice chancellor of the University of Maiduguri. He was minister of education, minister of petroleum resources, chairman of OPEC, ambassador of Nigeria to the USA, and 2-term distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is really not debatable that he excelled in all these roles that he performed. Let me just use this opportunity to illustrate why the people of Adamawa State will never forget Professor Jibril Aminu. During the first tenure of Alhaji Shehu Shagari as president of Nigeria, 7 new federal universities of technology were established in 1981 across the country, including the Federal University of Technology, Yola. When the military took over at the end of 1983, 31st December 1983, one of the first acts they perform is to convert 4 out of these universities as campuses of older universities. But Professor Jibril Aminu, working in the background, helped to reverse this, especially when he became minister. He ensured that these universities reverted to full-scale universities and were well established. Secondly, when he became the Minister of Petroleum Resources, he championed the enlargement of the petroleum networks and establishment of.
Thank you very much. Your time is off.
Thank you.
Senator. Johanna, you're first.
Thank you, Mr. President. Amos Johanna, Adamawa North. Mr. President, dear colleagues, Professor Jibril Aminu was one of the leading bureaucrat and professional that Adamawa and Nigeria has ever produced. Anywhere you go across this country, you see his fingerprints. In the area of education, university education, medical training and practice, in the aspect of petroleum, there are so many depots across this country that were established during the tenureship of Professor Jibril Aminu when he was Minister of Petroleum Resources. He built a large network of pipelines, new, and they remain the newest in Nigeria up to today, after the first colonial pipelines. Mr. President, Jibril Aminu has contributed immensely, a great intellectual, a genius. And so we really condole his family, the people of Adamawa State, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria for losing a very illustrious son and a reputable professional. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Neldra.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity. I'm Senator Neda Emanson, representing Edo South Senatorial District. I wish to lend my voice to all that have been said about my Vice Chancellor, Professor Jibril Aminu. All the good things that have been said here are all correct, but there are certain things about him that a lot of people don't know that we know. Because as one of his students at the University of Maiduguri, he was a man that I would call him a Nigerian to the core. At the time that we were at the University of Maiduguri, I would tell you that the population was 50-50 southern and northern students. And the way he ran the school was such that the school became the secret of the North, as they called it. To let you know, we were so comfortable in that school that we have our clothes dry cleaned. I mean, we didn't have to wash our clothes. The dining hall was more or less like a 4-star hotel. And any one of us who went to that school at that time can attest to that. In these chambers alone, we have nothing less than 6 senators, 2 of whom were former governors that went through that school under Senator Jibril Aminu. He was a fine gentleman. I will enjoin all of us to support this motion, especially that which asks that a national monument be given to him in his honor.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Senator
This man who was such a towering figure in Nigeria. May he so rest in peace.
We go to the prayers. All the federal government to charge. Sorry.
Urge the Senate to observe a minute silence in honor of the late senator. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Urge the Senate to send a delegation of distinguished senators to condole with his family and the government of Adamawa State. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Urge the federal government to immortalize the late distinguished Professor Jibril Aminu by naming one of the national monuments after him. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Would the Senate please stand to honor the late senator in a minute's silence, please? May the soul of Senator Professor Jibril Aminu rest in perfect peace. Thank you very much, Senator Abbas, for bringing forward this motion. He was one of us here, distinguished senator, an intellectual par excellence, an administrator, and he did very well when he served as a Minister of Petroleum, Minister of Education, if I'm not mistaken, and also a Senator of the Federal Republic. We cannot forget him. The nation will never forget him. And it is good that you brought forward this motion. The Senate commends you, and we pray that may he rest in Al-Jannah Firdausi. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the first business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Kawu Sulaiman on the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025 SB 811. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Thank you, Leader. But before that, before I call on the clerk, let me announce that there was a wrong referral in respect of skills of the bill of skill and acquisition technology Agulu in Anambra State, which was referred to the Committee on Tertiary Education and Third Fund. It was wrongly done, but the right place which the bill should be referred to and is hereby referred to is, well, the name stands as Federal College of Skills Acquisition and Technology Agulu, Anambra State, and it's referred to the Committee on Education, Basic and Secondary. Clerk of the Senate, may continue.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025 SB 811 first reading.
Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025 SB 811 first reading taken. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, the second business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Izunaso Osita on the Coastal and Inland Shipping Cabotage Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 860. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
The Clerk of the Senate. Mr. President, distinguished senators, Coastal and Inland Shipping Cabotage Act Amendment Bill 2025, SB 860, first reading.
Coastal and Inland Shipping Cabotage Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 860, first reading taken. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, the third business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Siako Yaro Anthony on the Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 866. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 866, first reading.
Federal Medical Center Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 866, first reading taken. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, the fourth business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Saliu Mustafa on the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 867. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 867, first reading.
Agricultural Research Council Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading taken. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, the fifth business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Emmanuel Udende on the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025 SB 868. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025 SB 868, first reading.
Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Amendment Bill 20 SB 866 868, first reading taken. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the sixth business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Olamilekan Adeola Solomon on the National Security Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2025 SB 869. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, National Security Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2025 SB 869, first reading.
National Security Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2025 SB 869, first reading taken. The Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President, and very distinguished colleagues. The first order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund on the Federal Polytechnic Act Amendment Bill 2025. Distinguished senators will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 15th May 2024. Mr. President, you may wish to invite most distinguished Senator Mohammed Dandutse Muntari, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Senator Nduse, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. My respected colleagues, I remain Danduse Muntar Mohammed, representing Katsina South. Mr. President, that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Fund on the Federal Polytechnic Act CAF F17 LN 2004 Amendment Bill to 2025. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Siako Yaro Anthony, you may second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am dismissed Senator Anthony Siako representing Gombe South. I stand to second this beautiful motion establishing a polytechnic in Onyoike. I so second. Thank you, Mr. President.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. You may table the motion. Your report. Sir, you know, we are familiar with these reports on establishment of institutions. You don't need to read the entire report. Go to the recommendation and your observation, recommendation and conclusion. You go straight to the conclusion, recommendation and conclusion.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President, my respected colleagues, that the Senate do receive and pass the bill for an act to establish the Federal Polytechnic Vocational and ICT Onuke Ezes South Ebonyi State to provide full-time and part-time courses and vocational training in information and communication technology Bill 2025 SB 71 and the Federal Polytechnic Act Bill 2025 SB 859 and for related matters. In conclusion, I wish to use this opportunity to thank the President of the Senate and distinguished colleagues for the opportunity to serve in this capacity and to humbly request the Senate to pass the bill as I so move. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much for summarizing your report. The Senate leader, can you now move so that we resolve to go to the committee of the whole to consider the report?
Mr. President, I so move.
Mr. President, I so second.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Federal Polytechnic Act CAP F17 LFN 2019 Amendment Bill 2025.
2004. You have there's a mistake. It needs to be amended to 2004.
2014. Those in favor that the long title on page 1, clause 1, 2, 3, all stand pass of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The leader, can you move a motion so that we revert to plenary to report progress?
Mr. President, sitting as chair, Distinguished colleagues, I so move.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole consider a report of the Committee on Tertiary Institution and Third Fund on Federal Polytechnic Act CAF F17 LFN 2014 Amendment Bill 2025 and approve as follows. Non-title as recommended. Number of clauses clause 1 to 2 as recommended. Short title clause 3 as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. It is the true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. Yes, eh? The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I rise to move that the bill be now read for the third time. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, I bill for an act to amend the Federal Polytechnic Act to establish the Federal Polytechnic for Vocational and Information Communication Technology, ONOEK, and the Federal Polytechnic AIDE, and for related matters 2025, third reading.
A bill for an act to amend the Federal Polytechnics Act to establish the Federal Polytechnic for Vocational and Information Communication Technology, ONOEK, and the Federal Polytechnic IAD, and for related matters 2025, third reading, taken and passed. I commend, or the Senate commends Senator Mohamed Nduz A and members of the committee for a job well done. The Leader of the Senate. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions on the confirmation of the nominations of the following persons as listed on the order paper for appointment as Managing Director and Executive Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. Mr. President, you may wish to invite most distinguished Senator Abiru Mikael Adetokunbo, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Senator Mikael Adetokunbo Abiru, the Baba Adini, the floor is left to you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues. My name is Adetokunbo Abiru, and I represent Lagos East Senatorial District. I rise to present the report of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions that the Senate do receive and consider the report of this committee on the confirmation of the nomination for appointment as Managing Director and Executive Director of Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. I so move, Mr. President. Thank you.
Senator Babangida Hussein, you may second the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, sitting at the chair, distinguished colleagues. I'm Senator Babangida Husseini, representing Jigawa Northwest, actually a member of the committee. I stand to move the motion for the adoption of the report of the Committee on Banking and Financial Institutions as ably moved by the chairman. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Baba Dini, you may proceed to present your report. Submit your report on the table of the Senate. Baba Dini, we urge you to please go to your findings and then conclusion.
Thank you, Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues. My name is Adetokunbo Abiru, representing Lagos East. Well, I start to present the report of the screening of the two nominees of Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for confirmation of appointment as Managing Director and Executive Director of NDIC. So on page 1 is the introduction, which I take as read, and on page 2 and 3 and 4, you have the profile of the nominees. So I'll go to the findings, which is on page 8. At the end of the screening exercise of the nominees, the committee's findings were as follows. 1, that the appointments of Mr. Thompson Oludare Sunday and Dr. Kabir Sabo Katata are in accordance with the provisions of Section 4, Sub 1, A and B, and 7, Sub 4 of the NDIC Act number 33 of 2023. 2, that the nominees' performance during the screening exercise is indicative of their qualifications and suitability for their appointments as Managing Director and Executive Director of NDIC. D, that the nominees possess the expertise, knowledge, and professional experiences to be appointed as Managing Director and Executive Director of NDIC. And E and F also allude to the fact that no petitions were received against their nominations, and of course, they were also cleared by DSS. Recommendations, which is on page 9, note 6. The President and distinguished colleagues, the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions, after robust engagement with the nominees and being satisfied with their experiences, performance, and academic qualifications, hereby recommends as follows: that the Senate do confirm the combinations of the underlisted as Managing Director and Executive Director of NDIC. 1, Mr. Thompson Oludare Sunday as the Managing Director, Dr. Kabir Sabo Katata as the Executive Director. The committee wishes to sincerely express its appreciation to the Senate for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. I so move, Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Baba Dini, for being precise and straight to the point. You are known for your eloquence and meticulous presentation of your reports, and you've done exactly the way we expected of you. Thank you very much. The Senate commends you. The Senate leader. Acting Senate leader, move for the Senate to go to Committee of the Whole to consider report.
I so move, sir.
Mr. President, I second.
Okay, Minority Leader, second. You seconded. Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Approval. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mr. Thompson Oludare Sunday for appointment as Managing Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Kabir Sabu Katata for appointment as Executive Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Leader of the Senate. Can you move a motion for us to revert to committee of to the plenary to report progress?
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion that we refer to plenary for you to report progress.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, motion seconded.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report. The Senate and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and other financial institutions on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as Managing Director and Executive Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, and approve the nominations of 1. Mr. Thompson Oludare Sunday, Managing Director, Dr. Kabir Sabu Katata, Executive Director. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Babadi, I didn't hear you say yes. Information. Leader of the Senate. Okay. There's information.
Mr. President.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Confirmation. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mr. Thompson Oludare Sunday for appointment as Managing Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Mr. Thompson Oludare Sunday is hereby confirmed as the Managing Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Kabir Sabu Katata for appointment as Executive Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The nomination of Dr. Kabir Sabu Katata is hereby confirmed as the Executive Director of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. I commend the chairman of this committee for a job well done. The report is well structured, well put together, well packaged. and very straight to the point. The screening exercise was well done. This is the normal thing we always have from the committee because of the resilience and the hard work of the chairman and members of the committee. We give you kudos for the way and manner you perform your functions in this Senate. More grace to your elbow. The leader of Senate.
Mr. Senate President, may I call on the chairman of Northwest Development Committee to present his report.
Southwest Development Commission Committee, you have the floor. The floor is yielded to you.
Mr. President, my name is Yunus Biodun Akitunde, representing Oyo Central. I stand to move that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on Southwest Development Commission on the confirmation of the nomination for appointment of the chairman, managing director, and members of the board of the Southwest Development Commission. I so move.
Senators Abbas, Aminu, you may second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Senator Aminu Abbas, President of Central. I second the motion as moved for the presentation of the screening report of the Southwest Development Commission. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion moved by Senator Yunus and seconded by Senator Abbas say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Yunus, you may proceed to lay your report.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, to save time, I'll be going to observation and our recommendation.
That's good. Beautiful of you.
On page 10, of our report, that is item number 5, we have the findings and observations. At the end of the screening exercise, the committee held a closed-door session where it deliberated on the nominee lives, academic qualification, work experiences, competencies, and integrity required for appointment as the chairman, managing director, and members of the Southwest Development Commission, and thereafter established the following. 1, that as at the time of this report, there is no adverse security report or petition before the committee against the nomination of the nominees for the appointment as the chairman, managing director, and members of the Southwest Development Commission. On page 11, you have item 2, that is the committee has established that both in fact and in law, that the nominees have satisfied the requisite requirements and hereby affirmed to be qualified, fit, and proper persons suitable for appointment as the chairman, managing director, and members of the Southwest Development Commission. Our recommendation is item number 6 on page 11. Based on the findings and observations of the committee on the nominees, and having been satisfied with their credentials, qualification and experiences, competencies, and performances at the screening exercise, the committee hereby recommends that the Senate do confirm the nomination of the underlisted person as chairman, managing director, and members of the Southwest Development Commission 1. Senator Olubunmi Adebunmi as chairman, Dr. Charles Akinola as managing director, Honorable Bolaji Idris Ario, member, Joseph Akinolubenga, member, Honorable Scholastica Olanike Omawurare, member, Mr. Olumuyiwa Timothy Olabintan, member, Dr. Ade Winle Olayinka Martins, member, Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Adeniyi Olaifa, member, Honorable Kabiru Ado Lakwaya, member, Right Retired Admiral Abdulbiu Adamu, member, Mr. Akinola Fagbemi Benjamin, member, Honorable Dr. Okowa Onyekwere Michael, member, Engineer Anako Alwell Owore, member, Mr. Olusegun Joshua Olufayinti as Executive Director Project, Mr. Tele Ogunjobi, Executive Director of Finance, Honorable Adefunmilayo Teju Osho, Executive Director Corporate Services, Mr. Ibikunle Bayonle Fatai, Executive Director Environmental Development, and Alhaji Lateef Oladimeji Ajijola, Executive Director Social and Human Capacity Development. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I so move that the mentioned chairman nominee be considered for the position of chairman, managing director, and members of the Southwest Development Commission as nominated by Mr. President. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We can now, leader, can you please move the motion so that we revert to committee, we go to the committee of the whole to consider a report.
Mr. President, I move
no need
for us to consider the report.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, I so second.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate approve the nominations of the following person? Senator Olubunmi Adetumbi. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of the underlisted persons as chairman, managing director, and members of the Southwest Development Commission? Number 1, Senator Olubunmi Adetumbi, chairman. Dr. Charles Akanji Akinola, managing director. Honorable Bolaji Idris Ario, member. Mr. Joseph Akin Olubenga Oluronshola, member. Honorable Scholastica Olanike Omowarare, member. Mr. Olumuyiwa Timothy Ola Bintan, member. Dr. Adewinle Olayinde Martins, member. Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Adeniyi Olaifa, member. Honorable Kabiru Ado Lakwaya, member. Right Real Admiral Abdul Biu Adamu, member. Mr. Akinola Fagbemi Benjamin, member. Honorable Dr. Okoha Onyekwere Michael, member. Engineer Hanacho Allwell Ohole, member. Mr. Olusegun Joshua Olufehinti, ED Project. Mr. Tele Ogunjobi, ED Finance. Honorable Ade Fumilayo Tejosu, ED Corporate Services. Mr. Ibikunle Bayonle Fatai, ED Community Environmental Development. Alhaji Latif Oladimeji Ajijola, ED Social and Human Capital Development. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate. Move a motion for it to revert to plenary to report progress.
Mr. President, I move a motion for the Senate to revert to plenary for you to report progress.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, I so second.
Those in favor say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Southwest Development Commission on screening of Mr. President's nominee for appointments as Chairman, Managing Director, and members of the Board of Southwest Development Commission and approve as the nomination as follows. Olubimi Adetumbi, Chairman. Mr. Charles Akonji Akinola, Managing Director. Joseph Akin Olugbenga, Member. Honorable Scholastica Olanike, Member. Mr. Oluwamuyiwa Timothy, Member. Dr. Ade Winley Olajide Martins, Member. Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Adeni, Member. Honorable Kabiru Ado Lakwaya, Member. Rear Admiral Abdul Biu Adamu, Member. Mr. Fagbemi Akinola Benjamin, Member. Honorable Dr. Okoha Onye Query, Member. Engineer Allwell Ihenacho, Member. Mr. Olusegun Joshua, Executive Director, Projects. Mr. Tele Ogunjubi, Executive Director, Finance. Right Honorable Barrister Funilayo Tejosu, Executive Director, Corporate Services. Mr. Fatai Bikunle, Executive Director, Commercial and Environmental Development. Last but not least, Alhaji Latif Oladimeji Ajijola, Executive Director, Social and Human Capital Development. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. Okay.
Distinguished
Colleagues, just before we go to the next item, I said I should greet you and I assure you that we are doing your work outside, the ones you can't do inside. So as soon as we finish the signing of your tax bills, I will come back so that I can brief you on all the items for the day. DSP, please come and continue. if I go into it, I will miss the signing of the tax bills. May God bless all the senators.
It's confirmation. Confirmation. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of the following persons as the chairman, managing director, and members of the Southwest Development Commission? Number one, Senator Olubunmi Adetumbi, chairman. Dr. Charles Akindiji Akinola, managing director. Honorable Bolaji Idris Ariyo, member. Mr. Joseph Akin Olugbenga Olu Rushola, member. Honorable Scholastic Olanike, is it not Sokola? Scholastica. Secretariat take note, clerk take note. Olanike Omowarari, member. Mr. Oluwamuyiwa Timothy Olabintan, member. Dr. Adewinle Olajide Martins, member. Dr. Ibrahim Adeni Olaifa, member. Honorable Kabir Adola Kwaya, member. Rear Admiral Abdu Biu Adamu, member. Retired. Mr. Fagbemi Akinola Benjamin, member. Engineer Olwe Ihenacho, member. Mr. Olusegun Joshua Olufehinti, member. Mr. Tele Ogunjobi, member. Right Honorable Barrister Fumilayo Tejosho, member. Mr. Fatai Ibikunle,
Observation.
member.
They are executive directors, sir.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, yes. From Mr. Okay, let me take it again.
Olusegun Joshua.
Let me take it again. Mr. Olusegun Joshua Olufemi Fehinti is Executive Director Project. Mr. Tele Ogunjobi, Executive Director Finance. Right Honorable Barrister Fumilayo Tejosho, Executive Director Corporate Services. Mr. Fatai Ibikunle, Executive Director Commercial and Environmental Development. Alhaji Latif Oladimeji Aji Jola, Executive Director Social and Human Capital Development. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. The nomination of The aforementioned persons are hereby confirmed by this Senate. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the fourth order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of Committee of South-South Development Commission on the confirmation of nomination of the following persons as listed on the order paper for appointment.
Sorry, leader. Let me, before that, let me commend Senator Yunus Abiodun and members of the committee for a job well done. You've done your duty of screening these people in a record time, and your report is well put together. To be honest, you've done a wonderful job, and the Senate hereby commends you. More grace to your elbow.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Continue.
Mr. President, the fourth order of the day is presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on South-South Development Commission on the confirmation and nomination of the following persons listed in the order paper for appointment as chairman, managing director, and members of South-West Development Commissions. No,
sir.
Is it? South-South Development Commission. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Kobewe Benson Friday, chairman of the committee, to move the motion for presentation and consideration of the report.
Mr. Komboe, you have the floor. Distinguished Senator Komboe.
Thank you very much. I am distinguished Senator Benson Friday Komboe, representing Bayelsa Central Senatorial District. Mr. President, I wish to lay the report. It's a first line charge. And thereafter, I will move the motion. I wish to lay the report, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, having laid the report, I wish to sincerely move that the Senate do consider and approve the screening of nominees for the appointment as chairman, managing director, and members of the governing board of the South-South Development Commission. Mr. President, as you have earlier directed, I wish not to bore the Senate in reading all the reports, but to go straight to observations. Mr. President, after thorough screening exercise, the committee observed that the nominees possessed the requisite academic and professional qualifications as stipulated in Section 13 of the South-South Development Commission Establishment Act 2025 and are therefore deemed suitable and fit to serve as chairman, managing director, and members of the governing board.
Senator Komboe, just 1 second, please. We need someone to second this motion. Senator Musa, could you please second the motion?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Senator Musa Mustafa, representing Yobe East. I hereby second the motion, Mr. Fund.
Thank you, Senator Musa Mustafa, for seconding the motion. Those in favor of the motion moved by Senator Benson Kumbwe for the Senate to receive and consider the report of his committee in terms of, in respect of the nominees of Mr. President to fill various offices of the South Development Commission, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. You may proceed to present your, to read your report, but please try to go to recommendation so that we can get done with it as soon as possible.
Mr. President, the report is very precise. Nominees were made to submit all required security clearances and fulfill the obligations prescribed by the Code of Conduct, and had no petitions or adverse reports filed against them, and are thus in good standing for the roles to which they have been nominated. Number 5, they exhibited a sound understanding of the Commission's mandate and responsibilities, coupled with a commendable sense of decorum and professionalism. Satisfactorily addressed all questions raised during the screening process. Committee therefore recommends to the Senate, in view of the above findings, the committee finds the nominees suitable and accordingly recommends that the Senate do confirm the nominees with the exception of Mr. Tijani Yahaya Kaura for appointment as chairman, managing director, and chief executive officer, and members of the governing board of the South Development Commission, in order to bring the membership of the commission to its full complement. Mr. Chairman, the committee made its findings and recommended as follows. Honorable Chibudam, Chairman, Rivers, was cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Osoro Ofiong Akpabio, Managing Director, Akwa Ibom, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Right Honorable Larry Ode, Member, Cross Rivers, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Charles Zofa, Member, Bayelsa, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Dr. Nkerenwem Ebong, Member, Akwa Ibom, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Engineer Cheka Chenda, Member, Rivers, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Barrister Femi Osie, Member, Edo, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Dr. Charles Silvanus Enuko Watt, Delta, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Tijani Yahaya Kaura, Member, Northwest, not cleared, recommended for Senate, not cleared, due to failure to submit required documents and appear before the committee for screening. He failed to submit documents and also appear for the committee's screening. Tabitha Leah Salah, Member, Northwest, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Olaji Yusuf Rasak Amao, Member, North Central, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Joseph Mamal, Member, Southeast, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Honorable Bukonla Bremo, Member, Southwest, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Honorable Marcus Nle, EJ,
Executive Director Project Rivers, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Engineer
Point of order,
Akanamba
Mr. President.
Prayer Stephen, Executive Director Social and Human Capital Development, Bayelsa, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Dr. Timi Alari Ayubatonye, Executive Director Corporate Services, Delta, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Honorable Joseph Ugeoke, Executive Director Commercial and Environmental Development, Edo, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. Ambassador
Mr.
Sonny
President.
Abang, Executive Director Finance, Cross River, cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation. In conclusion, Mr. President, I and distinguished colleagues on behalf of the Senate Committee
Point of order, Mr. President.
on South-South Development Commission wish to express my sincere appreciation.
Please approve the chair.
Point of order, Mr. President.
Order what? Finance Bar. Go ahead.
Mr. President, I wish to expressly and sincerely show my appreciation for the committee's work and for giving us the opportunity to serve. And for the nominee who didn't appear, Your Excellency, the committee still stands. And we may wish to still see him whenever he is ready to appear before the committee. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Leader of the Senate.
May I invite Mr. President to resolve into committee of whole to consider the report.
Okay, we are moving a motion. We are moving a motion now. He has moved the motion, right? It's a motion that you moved. Okay. Second the motion. Second the motion, Minority Leader. Don't do opposition. Just don't do opposition now.
The motion that was moved was requesting the Senate to resolve into the committee of the whole. And I second it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Confirmation. Does the Senate, approval. Does the Senate approve the nomination of the following persons as the chairman, managing director, members, and executive directors of the South-South Development Commission? 1. Honorable Chibudo Nwuchi, former Deputy Speaker, Federal House of Representatives. Usoro Ofiong Akpabio. Honorable Chibudo Nwuchi, former Deputy Speaker, Federal House of Reps, as chairman. Usoro Ofiong Akpabio, managing director. Right Honorable Larry Odi, member. Charles Zofa, member. Dr. Nkere Uem Ebong, member. Engineer Chika Chinda, member. Barrister Femi Osi, member. Dr. Charles Ikuhiti Sylvester, member. Tabita Ilya Sala, member. Alaji Yusuf Rasak Amao, member. Joseph Mamal, member. Honorable Bukunla Bremo, member. Honorable Marcos Nle Eji, Executive Director Project. Engineer Aganaba Pre Stephen, Executive Director, Social and Human Capital Development. Dr. Timi Alari Ayi Batonyi, Executive Director, Corporate Services. Honorable Joseph Ogueke, Executive Director, Commercial and Environmental Development. Ambassador Sonny Abang, Executive Director, Finance. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The leader of the Senate, can you move for the Senate to revert to the committee, to the plenary, to report progress?
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion that the Senate reverts to plenary for Mr. President to report progress.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, I second the motion that the Senate reverts to plenary to enable the chair report progress.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on South-South Development Commission on screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as Chairman, Managing Director, and members of the Board of the South-South Development Commission, and approve the nomination of one Honorable Chibudom Unwoche, former Deputy Speaker, Federal House of Representatives, as Chairman. Osoro Ofiong Akpabio, Managing Director. Right Honorable Larry Ode, Member. Charles Zofa, Member. Dr. Inkerewem Ebong, Member. Engineer Chika Chinda, Member. Barrister Femi Osie, Member. Dr. Charles Sylvester Enukuwate, Member. Tabitha Ilya Sala, Member. Alhaji Yusuf Razak Amao, Member. Joseph Mamal, Member. Honorable Bukola Bremo, Member. Honorable Marcos Nle Eji, Executive Director, Projects. Engineer Aganaba Pre Stephen, Executive Director, Social and Human Capital Development. Dr. Timi Alari Ayi Batonyi, Executive Director, Corporate Services. Mr. Honorable Joseph Ogueke, Executive Director, Commercial and Environmental Development. Ambassador Sonny Abang, Executive Director, Finance. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. Confirmation. Does the Senate confirm the appointment of the following persons as Chairman, Managing Director, and Executive Directors of the South-South Development Commission? Number one, Right Honorable Chibudom Unwoche, former Deputy Speaker, Federal House of Representatives, Chairman. Usoro Ofiong Akpabio, Managing Director. Right Honorable Larry Ode, Member. Charles Zofa, Member. Dr. Ekrewem Ebong, member. Engineer Chika Chinda, member. Barrister Femi Osie, member. Dr. Charles Sylvester Enukwati, member. Tabita Ilya Sala, member. Alhaji Yusuf Razak Amao, member. Honorable Bukola Bremo, member. Honorable Marcos Nle Eji, Executive Director, Projects. Engineer Aganaba Preye Stephen, Executive Director, Social and Human Development. Dr. Timi Alari Aibatonye, Executive Director, Corporate Services. Executive Honorable Joseph Oguoke, Executive Director, Commercial and Environmental Development. Ambassador Sonny Abang, Executive Director, Finance. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The aforementioned person are hereby confirmed as Chairman, Managing Director, members, and Executive Directors of the South-South Development Commission. I commend on behalf of the Senate the Chairman, Senator Benson Friday Kumboe, and members of the Committee of the South-South Development Commission for their diligence, hard work in the screening of these nominees. Your report is well put together and straightforward, and you've done your work in the best manner possible. Please continue to serve the Senate in this manner. More grace to your elbow. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the fifth order of the day is presentation and consideration of report of Committee on North Central Development Commission on confirmation and nomination of the fellow persons as listed on the order paper for appointment as Chairman, Managing Director, and members of North Central Development Commission. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Zam Titus Tatenga, Chairman of the Committee, to move the motion for presentation and consideration of the report.
Honorable, because he was a former local government chairman and former commissioner, Honorable Distinguished Senator Titus Zam, you have doctor, I've forgotten one of his titles, he has PhD. Titus Zam, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Senate President. I am Senator Dr. Titus Tatengezam. I represent Benue Northwest Senatorial District, and I hereby rise to move that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on North Central Development Commission for the confirmation of nomination for appointment as Chairman, Managing Director, and members of the Board of the North Central Development Commission. I so move, Mr. President. Thank you.
Former Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, former Governor, Plateau State, and now Distinguished Senator Simon Bakbola Long, you may wish to second the motion. Former Minister, former DG, presidential campaign.
Thank you for the privilege, Mr. President, Deputy Senate President sitting as chair. Simon Lalong, representing the good people of Plateau South and a good son of the North Central. I rise to second the motion moved by my brother, Senator Zam.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Mr. Chairman, you may wish to present the report. Place the report on the table.
The Senate President, distinguished colleagues, for want of time, I will go straight to recommendations, which is on page 4 of my report, that having carefully scrutinized the credentials of the nominees and being satisfied with their performances, experiences, qualifications, and competencies, the committee hereby recommends that the Senate do confirm the nominations of the unlisted persons as chairman and members of the governing council of the North Central Development Commission. 1. Barrister Cosmas T. Aki, chairman. Dr. Senyir Siri Yetsin, managing director. Dauda Shaibu Kibu, member. Zakari Haliru Jikantoro, member. Alhaji Suleiman Baba Ali, member. Reverend Bumi Olusona, member. Dr. Umar Ibrahim Mantu, member. Engineer Atote Abraham, member. Solomon Adodo, member. Honorable Abdul Kadir S. Usman, member. Engineer Habu Maman, member. Engineer Dr. Atinuke Owolabi, member. Rachel Kufri Nse, member. Chief Boniface Izogu, member. James Ebel Uloko, Executive Director. Princess Atika Ajanan, Executive Director, Project. Hajia Bilkis Jimoke Sanin, Executive Director. Hajia Ashetu Rujui Ibrahim, Executive Director. And Mohammed Bashar, Executive Director. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, on behalf of the committee, I wish to most sincerely thank you for giving us the privilege to serve in this committee. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your the way you presented your report, straight to the point. The leader of Senate, can you move so that we resolve the committee of whole to consider a report?
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion for the Senate to resolve into committee of whole to consider the report.
The minority leader.
Mr. President, I second the motion that the Senate resolves into a committee of whole to consider the report.
Those in favor of the motion moved by the leader and seconded by the honorable leader, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. My distinguished colleagues, will the Senate approve the nominations of the following persons as the chairman, managing director, members, and executive directors of the North Central Development Commission. Oh, he said, okay, what's your observation, Minority Leader?
Mr. Chairman, my observation is based on the designations of members and executive directors. And in order that we provide some harmony and along with the other proposals, if you see the Southwest report, it has and South-South, they have Joshua, ED project, ED finance, ED corporate services, ED community environment, commercial and all that. But this report is incomplete to that extent.
But Minority Leader, as an experienced legislator, senator, you know, this is dependent on what the president submitted to us. Probably the nomenclature or the designations that were used in the submissions that we received from the president for the others are quite different from this. So it's dependent on the communication we receive from Mr. President. It's an executive communication. It's an executive affair hours to confirm. Where is the chairman? Is that what is stated in the letter from the president?
Yes, Mr. President.
So we cannot help it. We can just go ahead with that because that's the communication we received.
Chairman, all development commissions have the same nomenclature. North Central cannot be different.
No, the fact is that you should have raised this during, when the letter was submitted. It will have been corrected. So it's not going to be good for your own zone to get this delayed. So just pass a letter. They can resolve it there as administratively, so that they can, they can deal with that. It doesn't matter.
The letter for North Central is different.
Oh my God. Appointments as you know, Mr. President. If by the time we get that done, we get all this process done, the president can say, okay, you handle this, you handle that, you handle that.
No, that's not correct.
No, but it's late. We cannot help it now.
Chairman, I don't think Mr. President will do that. Mr. President cannot single out North Central for allocation of portfolios after approval of the Senate.
Mr. Chairman, what is on the letter? No. Chairman, what is on the letter?
Distinguished President and my minority leader, at this point of the select deliberations on this issue, the issues being raised by the minority leader, with due respect, we have already passed that level, if we are to follow our rules. The issue now is to go through, and then if there is any form of amendment, you can come by a motion. A fresh motion on the basis that you want the clarification to be done or regarding the North Central positions in terms of the positions that are to be sent to anybody. Then the motion can be affirmed, and then on the basis of that, the Senate now will communicate with the President that appropriate assignment of positions can be done. But at this point, the issue that you are raising cannot be entertained by the Senate.
Former leader, thank you for guiding the Senate.
Yes, sir.
So your objection is overruled.
Chair.
Will the Senate?
Point of order.
Order what?
Order observation.
What is the order? What order? What order?
Order 122.
Will the Senate approve the nomination of the following persons as chairman, managing director, members, and executive directors of the North Central Development Commission? Number one, Cosmos T. Akigir, Chairman. Cyril Yilson, Managing Director. Dauda Shuaibu Kibbo, Member. Zakari Halliru Jikantoro, Member. Ali Suleiman Baba Ali, Member. Reverend Bomi Ulusona, Member. Dr. Umar Ibrahim Mantu, Member. Engineer Atose Abraham, Member. Solomon Adodo, Member. Honorable Abdulkadir S. Usman, Member. Engineer Habu Maman, Member. Engineer Dr. Atinuke Owolabi, Member. Rachel Kufre Nsi, Member. Chief Boniface Iziogu, Member. James Abel Oloko, Executive Director. Princess Atika Ajana, Executive Director Project. Hajia Bilkis Jimoke Sani, Executive Director. Hajia Aishatu Rujui Ibrahim, Executive Director. Muhammad Bashar, Executive Directors. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The leader of the Senate, can you move? Could you please move for the Senate to revert to the plenary to report progress?
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, I move a motion for the Senate to revert to plenary to report progress.
Minority Leader, the minority is sitting as the minority leader.
Mr. President, I hereby second.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Report. The Senate and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on North Central Development Commission on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as Chairman, Managing Director, members, and Executive Directors of the Board of the North Central Development Commission, and approve the nominations of number 1, Cosmos T. Akigir, Chairman. Cyril Yilson, Managing Director. Dauda Shaibu Kibbo, Member. Zakaru Halliru G. Kantoro. Is it Zakari or Zakaru? Zakari, is it Zakari or Zakaru? Zakari Halliru G. Kantoro, Member. Alhaji Suleiman Baba Ali, Member. Reverend Bumi Olusona, Member. Dr. Umar Ibrahim Mantu, Member. Engineer Atose Abraham, Member. Solomon Adodo, Member. Honorable Abdulkadir S. Usman, Member. Engineer Atinuke Owolabi, Member. Chief Rachel Kufre Nse, Member. Chief Boniface Iziongu, Member. James Abel Oloko, Executive Director. Princess Atika Ajana, Executive Director Projects. Hajia Bilkis Jimoke Sani, Executive Director. Hajia Aishatu Rujui, Executive Director. Rujui Ibrahim, Executive Director. Muhammad Bashar, Executive Director. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? confirmation. Does the Senate confirm the following persons as chairman, managing director, members, and executive directors of the board of the North Central Development Commission? Number 1, Cosmos T. Akigil, chairman. Senyil Cyril Yilson, managing director. Dauda Shaibu Kigbu, member. Zakari Haliru Jikantoro, member. Alay Suleiman Baba Ali, member. Reverend Bumi Olusona, member. Dr. Umar Ibrahim Mantu, member. Engineer Atose Abraham, member. Honorable Abdulkadir S. Usman, member. Engineer Habu Mamman, member. Engineer Atinuke Owolabi, member. Rachel Kufre Insi, member. Chief Boniface Izyongu, member. James Abel Oloko, executive director. Princess Atika Ajana, executive director, projects. Hajia Bilkis Jimoke Sani, executive director. Hajia Aishatu Rujui Ibrahim, executive director. Muhammad Bashar, executive director. Those in favor of their confirmation, please say aye. Those again, say nay. The affirmation persons are therefore confirmed, as stated earlier, as chairman, managing director, members, and executive directors of the North Central Development Commission. I thank on behalf of the Senate and also commend on behalf of the Senate the chairman of this esteemed committee, distinguished or honorable distinguished Dr. Titus Zam, and your members for a job well done. You've done your job, the work that was assigned to you by this August Senate in a record time. And your report is well structured and well put together. Continue to do your best whenever any assignment is given to you by the Senate. More grace to your elbow. The leader of the Senate.
There's no mood here. Mr. President, I wish to move that we put a hold on the 6th order of the day and move to the 7th order. I so move.
Before you move your motion, before I put the question or I ask the minority leader to second, I also want to call on those that have been confirmed to man various positions in these 3 development commissions, that the appointment is a call to serve our nation by Mr. President. And they should do all within their powers to make sure that they discharge their duties diligently so that the intention of Mr. President to develop our nation will be realized, to develop the various regions so that the intention of Mr. President to ensure even development across our nation is realized. We shall continue as a Senate through our committees to oversight what they are doing, to make sure they go in alignment with the aspirations of the people of this country and the intention of Mr. President to bring even development to our nation. I congratulate them on behalf of the Senate, and I will wish them well in their various positions. Madam Leader, you can second the motion.
Mr. President, I second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Leader, you can continue. You may proceed.
Mr. President, the 7th to the 10th order of the day are House Bill for concurrence as listed on the order paper. Mr. President, for the simple nature of the bills and interchamber reciprocity, I will present a lead debate on the bill.
Leader, you may second.
Mr. President, I second as moved by the Leader of the Senate.
You may proceed.
Lead debate on bills for concurrence from the House of Representatives. Where are we going? 1. National Agency for Technology Incubation. Establishment Bill 2025 HB 1025. 2. Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Amendment Bill 2025. 3. Federal Colleges of Education Act, Amendment Bill 2025, HB 1612. 4. Federal University of Agriculture Act, Amendment Bill 2025, HB 108. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, permit me to lead debate on this important bill from House of Representatives for concurrence of the Senate. 1. National Agency for Technology Incubation Establishment Bill 2025, HB 1025, was read the first time on Wednesday, 28 May 2025. This bill seeks to repeal the National Technology Business Incubation Foundation, Decree 9, number 5 of 1995, and to enact the National Agency for Technology Incubation, NATI. 2. Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Amendment Bill 2025, was read the first time on Tuesday, 27 February 2025. This bill seeks to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Cap A12, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amendment, to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Horticulture, Okigwe, Federal College of Agricultural Science and Technology, Otun Ekiti, and Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry Research, Ise. 3. Federal Colleges of Education Act, Amendment Bill 2025, was read the first time Tuesday, 22nd October 2024. This bill seeks to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act, Cap F8 LFN, to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Education Technical, Agoro, Baisa State, Federal College of Education Technical, Otan Ayegbaju, Osun State, and Federal College of Education, Tudunwada, Dankadai, Kano State. The Federal University of Agriculture Act Amendment Bill 2025 HB 108. This bill seeks to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture Act Cap F22 Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Ute Okpo, Delta State. Mr. President, my respected colleagues, these bills are straightforward and have gone through the necessary legislative process in the House of Representatives. I therefore urge you all to support the second reading of this bill as we refer them to Committee of Whole for clause-by-clause consideration. Thank you.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District. Mr. President, as rightly alluded to by the leader of the Senate, these bills speak for themselves. They are res ipsa locutor, and therefore they don't elicit much debate. And besides that, they are coming for concurrence from the House of Representatives. As rightly alluded to again, in the spirit of chamber reciprocity, there is need for us to pass this bill, these bills, concur with these bills without much ado and with the speed of light. Thank you.
Having got to the submission of the Chief Whip, I quite agree with him, but I'm sure we all agree with him that we don't need to waste time on this bill, as clearly stated by the Chief Whip. Going by that, I now put the question that those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, I bill for an act to repeal Technology Business Incubation Foundation Takeover Act and enact the National Agency for Technology Incubation and for Related Matters 2025, second reading. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 24 as amended, to make provision for the establishment of the Federal College of Horticulture, Okigwe, Imo State, Federal College of Agriculture, Science and Technology, Otu Ekiti, Ekiti State, and for Related Matters 2025, and Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry Research, Ise, Ekiti, Ekiti State, and for Related Matters 2025, second reading. I bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act Cap F8 Law of Federation 2004 and for Related Matters 2025, second reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, I bill for an act to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture Act Cap F22 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Ute Okpo, Delta State, and for Related Matters 2025, second reading.
A bill for an act to repeal Technology Business Incubation Foundation Takeover Act and enact the National Agency for Technology Incubation and for Related Matters 2025, HB 1025, second reading. Taken. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, as amended, to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Horticulture, Okigwe, Imo State, Federal College of Agriculture, Science and Technology, Otuntu, Ekiti State, and for related matters 2025, and Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry Research, Ise Ekiti State, and for related matters 2025, second reading taken. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act, Cap FA, LFN 2004, and for related matters 2025, HB 1612, second reading taken. A bill for that to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture Act, Cap F22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Ukpu, Delta State, and for related matters 2025, HB 105, second reading taken. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, pursuant to Order 78 sub 3, I move that this bill will now be referred to Committee of Whole for consideration.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I write to second the motion as moved by Senate Leader. I so second.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report. No. The bill, National Agency for Technology Incubation Establishment Bill 2025, HB 1055. Those in favor that clauses 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10, up to 17 stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 18 to 30 stand part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. Those in favor that clauses 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 stand pass of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that is plenary memorandum stand pass of the bill, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2025. Those in favor that clauses 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 to 3 stand pass of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the explanatory memorandum on page 1 stand pass of the bills, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Federal Colleges of Education Act, Amendment Bill 2025, HB 1612. Those in favor that clauses 1 to 3 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum and the loan title stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Federal Universal Agriculture Act, Amendment Bill 2025. Those in favor that clauses 1 to 3 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the explanatory memorandum, the loan title on page 1 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Leader of the Senate move so that the Senate to revert to plenary to report progress.
Mr. President, I stand to move that the President refer back to plenary for Mr. President to report progress.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Seconder. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President, two colleagues. You are on the same page, you are all in a hurry. I write to second the motion as moved by Senate Leader. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion moved by the Leader, as seconded by the Minority Leader, that to revert to plenary to report progress, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report. The Senate, in the Committee of the Whole, consider the National Agency for Technology Incubation Establishment Bill 2025 and approve as follows. Loan title as recommended. Number of clauses 1 to 30 as recommended. Interpretation clause 37 as recommended. Short title clause 38 as recommended. Schedules 1 to 2 as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. The Senate report on the Senate in the Committee of the Whole concerning the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2025 and approve as follows. Loan title as recommended. Number of clauses 1 to 2 as recommended. Short title as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. Report, the Senate and the Committee of the Whole consider the Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill. Loan title as recommended. Clauses 1 to 2 as recommended. Short title clause 3 as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. The Senate and the Committee of the Whole consider the Federal University of Agriculture Act Amendment Bill 2025 and approved as follows. Loan title as recommended. Number of clauses 1 to 2 as recommended. Interpretation nil. Short title, clause 3 as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the committee of the whole? The clerk of the Senate, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion that this bill be now read the third time.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that this bill be read the third time.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The clerk of the Senate.
Wow.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, I be for an act to repeal Technology Business Incubation Foundation Takeover Act and enact the National Agency for Technology Incubation and for Related Matters 2025, third reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, I bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amended to make provisions for the establishment of Federal College of Horticulture, Okigwe, Imo State, Federal College of Agriculture Science and Technology, Otu Ekiti, Ekiti State, and for Related Matters 2025, and Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry Research, AC Ekiti State, and for Related Matters 2025, third reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, I bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act, Cap F8, Laws of Federation 2004, and for Related Matters 2025, third reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, I bill for an act to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture, Act Cap F22, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004, to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Ute, Ekpu Delta State, and for Related Matters 2025, third reading.
A bill for an act to repeal Technology Business Incubation Foundation Takeover Act and enact the National Agency for Technology Incubation and for Related Matters 2025, HB 1025, third reading taken and passed. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, as amended to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Horticulture, Okigwe, Imo State. Federal College of Agriculture, Science and Technology, Otun Ekiti, Ekiti State, and for Related Matters 2025, and Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry Research, Ise Ekiti State, and for Related Matters 2025, third reading taken and passed. A bill for Act to amend the Federal College of Education Act, Cap F8 LFN 2004, and for Related Matters 2025, HB 1612, third reading taken and passed. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture Act Cap F22 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to establish the Federal University of Agriculture Uti, Ukwu Delta State, and for Related Matters 2025, HB 105, third reading taken and passed. The leader of the Senate, can you move for the Senate to adjourn? till tomorrow, the 27th day of, till next week, sorry.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, having concluded today's proceedings on the order paper, I hereby move that the Senate do adjourn till Tuesday, 1st of July 2025 at 11 a.m. prompt.
Mr. President, in seconding this motion, I want to observe and say that in concurrence, we always say on the principle of reciprocity. I hope sincerely that the same principle the House of Reps will be applying when they are considering concurrence matters from the Senate. On that note, Mr. President, I second the motion. The Senate adjourns till tomorrow, till Tuesday, the 1st of, at 11 o'clock.
Before I put the question, there's an announcement. Announcement, please listen to the announcement. Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Senate, Ad hoc Committee on National Security Summit. Announcement. Distinguished senators, this is to announce that Senator Onyose Allwell Hiacho is a member of the Senate Ad hoc Committee on National Security Summit. Thank you, Senator Dr. Bamdele Michael Opeyemi, Senate Leader. Those in favor that this August Senate stands adjourned till Tuesday, the 4th day of July 2025, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. This Senate therefore stands adjourned till Tuesday, the 4th day of July 2025 by 11 a.m. prompt.
All right, sir.